What's up, Big Ert?
What a
Yo,
win, bro.
what
Hell
up,
What a
yeah.
Erk?
win.
You see them trace minutes though, gang? You see them trace
What
minutes?
Trace
Trace.
Trace saved us the damn game, bro. His defense
Y'all
and
see that trace
offense.
minutes though, man?
Thank
Yeah,
God
man.
Kenny
This shit
didn't play
crazy.
Sarge, bro. Oh my God.
Shit. So did Kenny beat the ass allegations? Because in the playback they was calling him Jim was going off on him at halftime, bro.
In the first half, yeah, but then
That shit
again,
was funny.
I think you have to play Sarge in the first half just a little bit, but letting Trace run the
I'm gonna be
second
honest with you. I
half,
don't think they need to play him at all. Like,
yeah.
Real talk, bro.
This game is that in the last 10 games, Utah's probably been like one of the top 3 best offenses in the NBA. We shut their fucking water off
Bro,
tonight.
we have been shutting everyone's faucet off, bro.
What
It's
the fuck did
insane.
Markkinen do
Look at
tonight?
this defense,
He
bro.
got put on Wiggs
Markkinen didn't
Island.
do shit
Nervy.
tonight.
You
hold on. What's the win streak, or how many games have they won since the trade deadline?
3
Three games in a row.
since
So
the
that's what
deadline. Since the
since the
deadline, I
nervy.
think like 3 or 4, 3 or 4.
Come on, dog.
hey hashtag too much help. Hashtag too much help. Steph has too much help.
Hey,
Super team. Look
hey,
at
yo,
this
can I
squad,
just say
bro.
something real quick though? Like,
129 to 107. What the fuck do you think we're talking about here? Come on, man.
Nervy. Hopium.
Listen to
You're
me.
too optimistic, Shadow.
Come on, man. We're about to fucking dog walk teams, bro. I'm telling you. I
Did you
see
see
it.
Clay tonight?
This is
Clavor of
all
love, bro.
plus.
Clavor of love. Didn't he look in spirits tonight? Did you watch him on the
Yes,
bench
bro.
tonight?
Yeah, he looked
Yes.
happy. He looked
Yes.
Didn't
happy.
he look happier tonight?
Bro,
He looked
bro.
happy.
The Warriors tonight looked like they weren't even trying, bro. They were having fun. And then the fourth quarter came along and Steph subbed in. Bro, it was shooting practice. Everything was so smooth. Even when they did double him, it was a dump off to Dre, the lob to Wiggins. Everything was perfect tonight, once
Come
again.
on,
Wiggins looked
man.
pretty good tonight.
Come
Come on,
on,
man.
man.
Didn't
Relax,
Wiggins,
Laurie
brothers.
Marketing. Add Laurie Marketing to the island, please.
bro?
Come on, man.
Didn't Wiggins have the highest plus minus on the team?
Hold on. They didn't have to make one trade. One trade. People are crying for trades. No, not one trade made. It just went into Utah,
Wiggs
which
was
the
a plus
Lakers.
31. Steph was a plus 30.
Let me see how the
Combined
Lakers
plus
do, bro.
61 is
Hey,
crazy.
founding father. I know you're listening anonymously. Plus 31. Founding father. I know you're listening. Plus 31. Plus 31, founding father. Plus 31.
Nervy.
Plus 31. I thought on the court, all that nonsense where you don't know a damn thing, founding father. Founding father. Come on, man.
Bro, Steph had a double double and had no turnovers until he threw that random one at the end in the fourth before he got subbed out. A great game from him, too.
Dog, that man is a terrorist, bro. I literally tuned into the fourth quarter and he just went bananas, bro. Yo, man.
Come
Urkel.
on, man. Yeah.
Urkel. Remember the Wiggins minus 150 days?
The minus 150 days. Founding father, that was a plus 31 to founding father. Come on, man.
Life like this, short and sweet, isn't it?
Come on,
Hey
founding
Shadow,
Sharp
father.
boys.
Plus
Play the
31. Let's
hey
go
music,
to a
man.
Shadow,
plus
The
minus.
Sharp
Let's go.
hey
boys.
Shadow. He was tanking lineups. He was
He was
tanking
taking
lineups.
lineups.
Come
Dog,
on, bro.
since the man went into the starting lineup, he's damn near a plus 130.
Founding father. Come on, man.
You fucking
Dun-dun-dun,
goofies.
dun-dun-dun,
Hey, you
dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
spaces people. Come on. You spaces people. You spaces
Bro,
people. You spaces people.
that man, that
Oh,
man had
shit.
Larry Markin in a box, bro.
Oh my God, Lori Marketing got packaged in a box, bro. Come on, bro.
Bro, that man was in solitary, dog. He could
Oh
only
no,
That
score when
man,
he was
Bulldog.
on
that
the
You know
man,
court,
what's
dog.
crazy? Every time Wiggins is on the dude, like cats don't even hit the rim like in the first few attempts. It's like they gotta
Bro,
really adjust. It just hit side of the backboard. I'm just
fam.
like, man, he
His
be locking
contests,
up dudes.
bro, his contests are crazy. Bro, that
Ridiculous.
man, his timing on these jumpers are ridiculous, bro. Like he times it up perfectly. Like it's unreal.
Having him is a cheat code, bro.
Yeah, bro,
And
like
Draymond,
come on, man.
we don't need a center. Like tonight proved it. I mean, it already proved it years ago, but this really
Bro,
proves
we
it.
got a center, bro. We got Lunia, we have TJD, bro.
We're good.
Did you see TJD tonight?
Yeah.
This man was
I
like a
know
bowling
Jim.
ball, bro. 4 for
Jim going
4,
crazy
3
on
Come
rebounds,
on,
TJD
man.
minutes, bro.
Hold
7
on,
minutes.
man.
Come on, bro.
Why are
10,
we at
10.
like 1,500, man? When we were losing, Spaces was packed,
Come
man.
Bro,
on,
we had
bro.
like
Come
2K
on,
in
dog.
here.
No, hold on,
Slim
Like
hold on.
Sleeper, come
Urkel.
on, bro.
Urkel,
Slim Sleeper, come
retweet.
on, man.
Hold on, Urkel. Retweet the Spaces. Everybody in the fan base, the lounge, then down
Shadow.
below, everybody on the
Shadow.
stage, retweet it, please.
Come
Shadow. To
on,
be
man.
fair,
I need more people in here.
to be
Oh, you
fair,
don't want to
people
hear us gloat.
to be fair, people probably in the Joe Budden spaces. They got like 300 people in there.
Yo, come on, man. Joe Budden. Fuck Joe Budden, bro. Come on, bro.
Come
Hop in
on,
here.
dog.
Listen to us gloat. Listen to us
Come on,
gloat. Come
dog.
on,
Bro, this
man.
shit
Come
funny,
on, dog.
man.
No,
That
Urkel,
boy's
man. Come on, man. Come on, man.
Come
No,
on.
listen to me. We are blowing teams off out the water, dog. Are you for real? You were nervy. Come on, man. It's time to join the other side, man. I want to know who's winning the chip. Somebody talk to me, man. Someone talk to me, man.
Shadow,
Talk with
Shadow.
base,
What's
man.
happening right now is like when you came back to the spaces, the Return of Shadow spaces, which was a legendary space. You had the tone in your voice that you have right now. You were so sure of that this team would be doing this right now.
I was positive. Go back and listen to it. Someone clip that masterpiece. Give me my Emmy, my Oscar, my global citizens
Give it to
award.
him.
I tried to tell. Hold on. Anybody in their right mind who thinks Andrew Wiggins just fell off a cliff and forgot how to play basketball, number one, you're either goofy, was on the short bus, or I'm gonna give you a pass. You was a little fried, man. You're smoking TJ's dad's weed, and it wasn't good, man. It wasn't good, and you couldn't handle it, man. But now that we are here,
Hey, TJ.
we
we got.
Gucci, baby. Let's fucking go.
Come on,
TJ.
dog.
TJ, the man them said that Crow was a negative 150, dog.
They said Crow was a negative 150,
Well,
dog.
Gordon Wiggins showed up for today, man. Oh my god.
Man
Wait,
was a plus
Wiggins had a
30
plus
today with a
31?
defensive masterclass, dog.
Hey,
Hey,
the
the island,
finishing.
Wiggins Island is getting a little too full, man. We're gonna have to upgrade to a bigger one at this
Oh,
point.
no.
So wait, I'm
100%,
confused.
dog.
Wiggins had a plus 31 tonight.
No, he had a plus 30. I
Nah, you
think
know, single
Steph.
game. Yeah.
Nah,
Single game
single
plus
game plus
minuses don't
minus.
matter. Come
Nah,
on,
nah, it
man.
don't
Single game.
matter.
No, 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 no.
No, it don't matter.
No,
Come on.
but it was the minus 150 for me, dog. Come on,
Lineup
man. These
tanker.
guys,
Shadow. Lineup tanker. Lineup tanker.
dog. Listen to me and listen to me good, bro. We're winning the chip. This is all we need. We have enough. Everybody's confident. I told you, we just need Clay to play at that level, and we're Gucci. I'm not like you fucking bozos. I want Clay to do well. I'm not over here trying to shit on Wiggins and hoping he gets packed up and traded and bringing up all kind of charts and metrics and talking about he can't play with Kaminga. Come on, dog. This team ain't losing to nobody, man. The Nuggets ain't beating these guys in the 7 game series. The Clippers ain't beating these guys in the 7 game series. OKC ain't beating these guys in the. Look at Steph, man. You forget who we have on our team, bro. Steph is so comfortable. He says, "You know what? It's fourth quarter now. Let me put on a show, man. Thanks a
Hey,
lot, Wiggs, for coming to the party.
hey.
Thanks a lot, Clay, for coming to the party. Kaminga, you did your thug easy. Every night's not going to be the best night, but I believe in you, young fella. But let me show you how this is done. Yakum, yakum, yakum,
Oh my god.
yakum.
No cap. No
cap.
Hey, Laker
Nigga said he
fans,
was.
Laker fans, I know y'all are in here listening. We're a half game
Anonymously,
behind y'all, bro.
anonymously.
Anonymously, yeah, we're a half game behind y'all. Those are the footsteps you hear coming. And we did it without free throws. We did it
Hey,
without
Eric.
free throws. What's going on?
Hey, man, you see how good our defense is with Wiggs, Draymond, and GP2 and TJ. Like our defense is crazy, man. I'm like, man, it's good to be healthy. It's good to be having our team. Steph going fucking bonkers. Clay playing well, letting the game come to him, and he's also playmaking, doing good passes and shit. And Paz is feisty. Kaminga, that nigga's a young beast in the making. Draymond, man, got the heart. Man, you love to see it, man. Draymond impact is incredible, by the way, man. That nigga, woo! Defensively, IQ, all types of shit, man. Everybody gangster till Draymond start hitting half
Yo,
court threes.
Draymond is hitting
Lucky.
half court shots, bro. Who knew?
And I'm so mad.
Hey,
I'm
hey, hold
so
on.
mad because those two were missing against Denver, and it was still a close game. That's why I'm mad that they wasn't playing that
You
game.
know what that
We
Draymond
got
shot
Denver in
looked
a
like?
few weeks.
You know what
We'll
that
see you
Draymond shot
soon.
looked like? It
We
looked like
Gucci,
Urkel's
man.
old profile picture. Looked like Urkel's old profile picture.
Oh my gosh!
Dog, y'all
He
see him
jacked up
wave
the
off
half
Steph?
court
When
shot.
Draymond hit that,
Y'all
I ain't
see him
gonna lie,
wave off
I was
Steph?
going
He said,
crazy.
nah, this shot is mine.
Can we
Bro,
talk
Bruh.
looked like
about
Urkel's
two-way
old
He
Steph
profile
denied
today?
picture.
Steph everybody.
Can we talk about two-way Steph today? That brother was clamping
He looked
Laurie up, bro.
amazing on defense.
Locking
Yes,
Laurie, bro.
Yes,
bruh. Even
Yo,
Steph
what,
was locking them up.
we were
OMG.
ready to trade the farm for Laurie, and Steph is out there locking up Laurie, bro.
bro? Even
Yes,
Urkel making the
sir.
point. Even Urkel making the point about the refs. What about the Wiggins closeout three, man? I swear, anytime something goes to review for the Warriors, the league types in a new rule and uploads it
Man.
to the
Bro,
rule
oh
book
my
real
gosh,
quick, bro.
bruh.
Like too short of a closeout. My brother, he ran into his foot. He had no landing space.
Crazy.
Come on,
Let me
man.
ask you guys a question. The Sarchic minutes, that was that was pissing me off. How'd y'all feel about Sarchic?
It was really the first half, and you gotta play him just to give the feel. But TJD, slowly but surely, he's gonna get more minutes and more minutes and more minutes, and hopefully 30 games is enough so we could sneak in. I don't know about him playing in the finals or anything like that because playoffs is about feel and composure. So we're gonna see. Like they're prepping him. Hopefully he's there for the first round, second round, and do. But TJD's a guy, man. TJD's a guy, bro. Our whole team is active. Is
Hey,
yeah,
Shadow,
yo.
I like that lineup with TJD at the five, with Draymond at the four, and then Wiggins, Clay, and Steph. I like TJD at the five and Draymond at the four. It allows Draymond to cause hella havoc. We still got a back line, defensive,
Yep.
anchor. TJD, that nigga affects a lot. He need to get more fucking minutes, man. Real
Yeah,
talk.
but
Yeah.
slowly but surely, I'm sure Steve watched the game today, and he's knowing Steve, he's texting all the coaches, and he's sitting with Ron Adams, and they're breaking down the game. Like TJD's gonna get his shine, man. One thing about Kerr is if he sees you active and doing your thing, like really, really doing your thing in wins, he's gonna reward you. If you're active and doing your thing and it's losses, you still got to work for it until it gets win, till you get to wins. And right now, this is 5 in a row, bro. Brother, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I can see a 15-5, a 17-3. Like we are about to go on a stretch, man. I feel it right now. The confidence is there, and the number one thing is the vibes, man. Clay's hitting shots, jumping up and down. Wiggins is strapping, steals, sidelines jumping up and down. Kenny's pumping his fist. Steph's looking for Draymond. Draymond's looking for Clay. Clay, you just hit one. Let me give you another one. Contrary to popular demand and contrary to belief, we are not hating on our own teammates. That's bozoish because we need everybody there to play well in order to win a championship. I'm not interested in making the playoffs. I'm not interested in the second round. My money is on the Warriors to win the chip. This is what it's about. And now they're playing well. We have approximately 30 games left. We got to finish strong be ready for the playoffs. Unfortunately, we have an abundance of riches, but it's going to come down to defense. That's what I personally think. I think the minutes are based on like this man might be playing well, but do you play defense like this man? And that's what it's going to come down to. So everybody got to step up on a defensive front. You see Steph. Steph showing you today, bro. I'm not going to be no cone. I'm not going to allow Wiggins and Draymond and all these other guys to bail me out. I'm going to hold my own. So Steph is stepping up. So I'm expecting everybody else to step up, man. This is a good vibes, man. Like everybody feel good, man. I'm not interested in it's not about proving anybody wrong. It's proving us right. And I'm trying telling you, this is nothing against anybody up here,
Facts, Shadow.
anybody in the
Facts. Say that
spaces.
again.
I
Say
just
that
want to
again,
bring
Shadow.
everybody and be on the same page,
Shadow.
man.
Shadow. Say that again. It's not about what?
Come on, bro. It's not about breaking anybody up or having a divide. It's about the team and us winning. I'm not even interested in having ops and doing all that. I spent my whole life doing that, living in the trenches, bro. I don't need that. Right now, I need everybody to come in and believe. Do you believe right
You
now?
see,
It's
you see,
5 in
you
a
see the
row.
Clay
If you need
report. You
another
see the Clay
5 wins
report.
in
He
a
willing to
row,
take
that's
a
okay.
reduced role.
I think we can make it 6 in a row.
Did you see the? I posted something earlier. Shout out to CJ for the stat. He showed the Boston Celtics around the same time as us in 2021, 2022, and us right now. It's pretty similar. And even that one L we took was the same team against the same team.
Let me
So
tell
it's
you
pretty.
something, man. I never stopped believing in this team because I saw them in 2021. Mike Mulder, G League, Jordan Poole, G League, JTA, G League. Who else, Shadow?
Bazemore should have been the
Bazemore.
Kelly Oubre
Wanamaker.
and sat him out because he had a
Wanamaker,
twisted arm.
With all of
Wanamaker.
them, they made
Eric
Come
one.
on, bro.
Pascal,
G
Eric
League.
Marquise
Pascal, come
Chris,
on, bro. This is
Marquise Chris.
G
it was
League.
it was
I
pitiful
forgot
times,
all of
man,
them
and we
were
still
on the
pulled it off.
team.
Listen to me. Listen to me. Once I seen that team go 15-5, there is no reason why this team couldn't go 15-5. You know what I'm saying? And
This team has more talented than is more
bro,
talented
this
than
team
the
is far
22
more
You know,
talented,
now that
man.
I'm thinking
Way
about it,
more
to the
talented.
now that I'm thinking
championship
about
team.
it, now that I'm thinking about it, how come Steph Curry didn't win the MVP for bringing that team to the play-in at least?
Nah, you can't give MVP for that. But I mean, here's what I'm
I
He
mean,
saying.
was a candidate. I think he was third.
yeah, he was third, but he's not part of clutch.
Yeah,
So
nah, it was
He
third.
was he got up to the third. He was in the actual voting, so he almost did it too, which was crazy. But go ahead, Irk, my bad.
Yeah, so yeah, we're in a good spot, bro. We're in a good spot. So now the goal is to win the next 2 games and just finish off
No, we
this
gotta
little
close
stretch,
up,
bro.
man.
Close it up, bro.
Our
Win the next two
schedule coming
games.
out of the All-Star break is very winnable. Like, I don't want to get anybody excited, but winning 10 in a row is very, very possible, man. If you look at our schedule coming out of the All-Star, we have some very, very winnable games. I'm not thinking that far ahead. It's obviously one game at a time. With our next game is what? Against the Clippers and then against the Jazz again, and then we're done.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. The Clippers can get some of this too, man. Like, hey, ain't nobody
No, for
safe,
real.
man. The
Nobody
Clippers
safe.
can get the left hook too,
Anybody
man.
can get it.
Say it again, bro. Say it again. Nobody safe.
Come on, man. Everybody's looking crazy. Everyone's looking crazy. This is what I'm saying. Like, you gotta believe it looked gloom, but health is a factor. Availability is a factor. Draymond Green, we're seeing the difference he's making.
But this is just like the vibe. Like everyone's having fun. You know what I mean? There's no like everyone looking sad or whatever. Like everybody's having fun.
And
That's
that's
like
what
the
it
most
should
eye
be.
opening.
And
Yeah,
that's what it should be.
they look like they
Yeah,
actually
so
enjoying playing
so
basketball.
tonight I was just looking at Clay's body language, and he just looks like, bro, it looked like 100 pounds just got lifted up off of him. You know what I'm saying? Bro, like, and I'm really happy to see that. His spirits just look so much better. There's a shot that he hit in the third quarter. It was a three, and he kind of like he was wide open and he hesitated on it and he made the shot. And that man, it it's like he jumped for joy damn near. You know what I'm saying? And that right there is almost like a weight got lifted up off of his shoulder. So stuff like that, you just love to see things like that coming together. Everyone else was playing well, and you could tell that, he had just so much weight on his shoulder, because he wasn't playing well, wants to play well, and all of that. And he just got the monkey off his back. You know what I'm saying? So he had 26 points tonight. Is that what he
Yeah.
had? Yeah, 26 points tonight. He shot 11 of 19, 3 of 4, and he was pretty solid defensively. He was pretty solid defensively tonight. So, when shots aren't falling, sometimes you get down on yourself and it starts to affect other parts of your game. So everything kind of came together tonight for him. On the road, Utah's not an easy place to play in either. So I am happy to see them stringing that together because vibes on vibes on vibes.
Man, I just looked through
This is
our
amazing, man.
schedule
Like,
for the
what
remainder of
is it?
the
5 in a row? 6 in a row?
Yeah, it's 5
James,
in a
go ahead.
row, and then we got Clippers, and then we got Utah again. We got to make sure we close both of those teams out convincingly.
Yeah. James, go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying, I went through the rest of our schedule. I was just looking at it for after the All-Star break, and I'm like, man, easily, easily can go on a really big win streak and close the season out strong. And potentially, depending on, I mean, we might need a little help from obviously a few teams dropping a couple games here and there along the way, but getting out of the playing situation and getting to that sixth spot.
Here comes the Warriors. Here
Lakers
comes the
fans, y'all better be
Warriors.
shaking in your boots, bro. Y'all
Here
thought we
comes
was
the
dead. We the
Laker fans.
Undertaker. We like the
Laker
Undertaker. We
fans.
rise again.
I was reading a stat earlier, and I saw that this month we were leading the NBA in points in the paint. I wonder if the free throws correspond with that.
Hell no.
They
Bet
don't.
they won't. Bet
Hell
they
no.
won't.
Yeah, like I said, like the last, what, I think it was 8 games, we're like in the 20s when it comes to free throw attempts. Meanwhile, like two of those teams, the Lakers and I think it was the Sixers,
Yeah.
they get the most free throw attempts. The Knicks are next to us, around in the 20s.
Yo, guys.
Hey,
Manu,
what's
what's
up,
going on?
Manu? What's
Yo,
up, man?
The Warriors have won 7 out of 8 games for the first time since the 2021-22 season. We didn't do this at any point last year.
Wow, that's a great stat.
That's a great stat.
That's a
Great stat.
great
The last
stat.
I love
time, the
that.
last
Come
time we
on,
won
man.
7 out of 8, bro,
Come on, man.
it was
Yeah.
like Jan to Feb of 2022.
And the
Or
wild part
if
about
you
it is
count the
that
playoffs, but
it,
I mean, same thing.
but
But
we're a
yeah, it's
game
been
over
2 seasons,
500.
bro.
That's
We're a game.
fantastic.
We're a game over 5. One game above 500.
Bro,
Bro, we were
Hey,
yo,
just
other
5 games
side.
under 500. Literally.
Listen,
Hey, they did it quick, man.
We turned this
That's
bitch around
insane, man.
quick.
Happened quick.
I know. Three weeks ago, it was all
And they've
doom and
been
gloom.
decisive
All
wins.
the last season, we didn't do this, man. Crazy.
Come on, and all these wins are convincing. Like we are mollywopping teams. Like we are.
Those
every
3 losses,
single
we
one of
had the
them,
lead.
bro.
We had the lead the last like few seconds.
Exactly, bro. And earlier in the season, we would have leads and we give them away. For
Yep.
our win streak, we've had leads and we've kept them, bro.
Yeah,
Like,
because our defense is stepping
It's
up. That's to
composure,
tell you
bro.
the truth,
Draymond
man.
being back, bro, our composure is there. Like we haven't seen that. We usually give up big runs. But now we don't like we see like the Jazz score 5 points and then the Warriors answer like that, right? So it's just great to see. This is the best brand of basketball I've watched since the 2022 playoffs for the
You know,
Warriors.
what's
So what
interesting
has
to me
changed?
is like the
What
consecutive
why is this
shots on
happening? What
target.
has changed? What
Draymond.
is different?
people are
Few
healthy.
things.
Draymond is
Green
more
increasing our
control. We
Few
have
defense from
things.
Udoka and
29
Few
to
Kemba
things.
now.
60.
We've been playing lineups that are bigger, which is what I've been
True.
saying. Right?
Yep.
So
Yep.
Wiggins, Kaminga, and Draymond. Even Kaminga didn't have a great game tonight, but it doesn't matter. He's 6'8" and he can move. And when you have positional size out there, which is what I've been preaching all season long, to either acquire via trade or to put out there on the court internally. And we finally found the right combinations And I even said it 3 weeks ago. I could see it in the Kings game. I could see it in the Lakers game. Even though we lost those games, I was saying then and there that there are some bright spots that we can take away and build on with that three front court lineup, and that's what we've been doing ever since. The
And that's
defense,
the thing, Greg.
My
yeah.
spaces back here?
That's the thing, is that they had pieces to go bigger all along. That's why I'm screaming after every loss, every 1 point loss, every 2 point loss, every 3 point loss. I'm coming in here screaming after the game because they should have won the game if they didn't lean too small. Three guard lineups, three tiny lineups, 4 guard lineups, all this kind of crazy stuff, right? They have other pieces to be able to play better. And big shout out to Kenny Atkinson tonight. This is the first time that he's coached a Warriors game as the head coach. This seems to happen, at some point to every assistant that is under Steve Kerr somehow, some way or another. Luke Walton coached half the season one time. Mike Brown coached coached in the playoffs over Steve because Steve was out for those games. And now we got Kenny Atkinson, and he was a little shaky in the first half. Going with Sarge minutes, that was just not good at all. But the Warriors still had a lead, and then in the second half, he made a lot of adjustments. He called quick timeouts when the other team was gaining momentum, and then he made lineup adjustments, and these are good things. And even I feel like at this point it's very clear that Dario Saric has a clause in his contract that forces the team to play him a certain amount of minutes, because at this point it is super clear that he's detrimental to this team, and they would be better if they just didn't play him. Trace is so much better than him. Like, it's laughable. The defense is like, every time they attack Dario in the paint and he's by himself and an island, he's a cone. He can't stop anybody. And it's a huge problem for the Warriors. He comes into the game and destroys all the momentum that the starters worked really hard to build up. And that's really tough to watch. And it makes my stomach turn watching a single individual just destroy the full potential of this team's defense. And even tonight, because Kenny had to play him in that fourth quarter, Trace came in the third quarter and changed the game. He did an amazing job. The next thing you know, he plays 3 minutes, fourth quarter comes, and it's Dario at the 5 again. But this time, at least, Draymond was next to him. So that's the adjustment that Kenny made. And even then, it still wasn't good enough. So then 3 minutes later, Dario gets taken out again. Trace comes into the equation. We finally get the Trace and Draymond combination in the fourth quarter, in something like a crunch time, and the game is over before you know it. I'm saying? This is what I've been wanting to see all along, all season long. This is the lesson that Steve Kerr was supposed to have learned, with Trace getting those minutes while Draymond was out. We got a lot of just what is it, a blessing in disguise. With Draymond kind of missing because of suspension, he came back a different man, a different player, a player who inspires his young players, encourages them, empowers them, tells them that, hey, take that shot because it's a good shot. Hey, Kuminga, nobody can stop you. These are messages that are supposed to come from your coach, but Draymond has been providing that for this team since he's come back. So he connects their defense, he empowers other guys, and he's just a focused version of Draymond. He looks like the 15-16 Draymond almost, even from the 3-point line. He had a half-court shot tonight. This is the first time in his life that he hit a half-court shot. So things are looking incredibly positive for Draymond. And Kuminga has found a completely different role now, playing next to Draymond. And these things have been just incredible developments for the Warriors. This is part of the reason why things have changed so much for the Warriors, because they have a new second option, a legit second option.
Hey,
that is no
Jim.
longer Clay. That's Clay. I mean, that's Kuminga.
Jim,
Yeah.
you talk about Draymond. He had 12 points, 8 rebounds, 9 assists. You see if that's his stat line, we're going to be dog walking teams, because I am not a points, rebounds, assist guy. I am more of like a guy that looks at things that's happening on the court, right? So, you can have a secondary assist, which is a hockey assist. It's not going to show up in a box score, but you collapse a defense by a certain way. Next thing you know, make a pass to a guy, you get a secondary pass, bam, right? So that type of thing happens within the context of a box score. I seen Draymond do something tonight, right, where somebody was about to take a floater, he stunts at the defender, goes for the box out, and then the guy misses the shot because Draymond stunted at him, and he went, boxed out, grabbed a rebound. You know how difficult that is what he did? That's literally guarding too, and he does things like that, and it'll never show up in the box score, right? Like that. That thing right there didn't even show up in the box score like that. So, he does things like that, and on top of it, when he's gonna do the points, rebounds, assisting, it's just gonna be it's almost like it's icing on the cake. Ki-
I'm gonna be honest. A lot of these offenses are not that sophisticated.
Dre,
Like outside of
90% of them
yeah,
are not that sophisticated.
And
okay, Lowry had some good cuts tonight, right off the ball. Outside of that, it was a bunch of ISO and like pick and roll, and it was just nothing nothing that actually shifted the defense. Like Lowry had a couple good cuts off the ball that were like he got us beat. Outside of that, I mean Clarkson was a ball hog.
And they
Sexton
can't
was a
hear
ball
Dre at
hog.
all.
You can't hear me?
Dr- yeah, yeah.
No, we can hear you. We hear you fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Were you gonna say Sun God?
Yeah, I was gonna say like that particular reason, right, is why we've done very well against the Celtics, and why I've always, been not as high on the Celtics offense, right? And that's kind of prevalent throughout the league, is that you have a lot of these teams that are playing this spread pick and roll isolation, right? And like they're just not that guy. Like they are just not talented enough. Like in order to do that, you have to be a Luka Doncic, a James Harden, a LeBron James, a Steph Curry, that type of scorer and playmaker. And most of these guys are just not that. And so what you see a lot of is these isolations, and Jason Tatum in particular, right? You'll see a lot of these isolations, and they get shut down, and it's a step back threes, or mid range, go bully, take a mid range, turnaround fader, right? Like or attempts at driving kicks, and then closeouts are you know, you close out well, and it's just a pump fake and a rush shot. So like it's really not that like difficult in terms of scheme to defend the NBA, right? It's the main thing you are managing is mismatches. How are you effectively passing off mismatches, and how are you, if those mismatches do happen, because it's the NBA, they will happen. How are you covering for those mismatches? And that's literally it. That's the defense. And that's where Draymond is the cheat code, because Draymond does both of those things at an insanely high like level, and he does it in basically an instant. And so that's only half the battle, right? The other part is communicating it with their teammates. And Draymond does both of those pretty much at a level that can only be matched by other defensive greats. And so like yeah, defense is not difficult in the NBA, but it's just about, you have to be on a string, you have to be communicative, and you have to have a guy that's able to cover for your fuck ups, cover for your these mismatches. And you're seeing that, especially like you saw so many times today. Pods was posted up by a bigger guy. I want to say, and Steph, of course, with Laurie, right? We saw that multiple times. Who was the help man? It was Draymond Green. And guess what? Almost all of those resulted in terrible, terrible shots, just because of exactly what Urkel said. He plays two, he stunts at the guy, he recovers. He will help, and if you're turning around to kick out, that's it. He's reading that and he's gone. Or if he knows, okay, obviously if you have a mismatch, part of your thinking is, hey, I'm bigger than this guy, I'm just gonna turn around and shoot. If you do that, Draymond reads that, and it's basically you're getting contested by two people and missing, right?
I guess
So like,
I'm gonna be honest with you. All of those points were accurate. I agree with all those observations. I will say that with like some of it's just effort. As I hate to even reduce it to just that, but like I don't even think we were playing with this level of engagement and intensity and discipline and effort now than like a month or two ago. I feel like we were giving up straight line drives. We weren't rotating on time. We weren't making the extra
Oh, they were too
closeout.
small,
Like
Dre. Their defense was
Isn't it the
broken. It was
positional
fundamentally
size?
broken.
that's part
There's
of
only
it.
so much
That's
that they
part
could
of it.
do, and I think maybe even
Jim,
Draymond.
that's part of it. That's part of it. But again, there were so many shots. Like if you go back and watch the film, Jim, there were so many times where the ball would swing from corner to corner, and dudes wouldn't even try to close out. Like look at that Pelicans game. Look at that Raptors game. Even against the Kings, when we lost by 1 point,
hey,
that the defense wasn't necessarily great in that game either.
Well,
I think the effort
yeah.
level and the intensity has been. I get it. We small lineups contributed as well. I'm just saying we have some small players out there too. Like now, like Pods and Steph and GP aren't like 6'8", but they're playing with effort. Look at Steph, bro. He's strapping up. Like there's a level of engagement that is happening right now that we weren't seeing weeks ago, and I think that to me has stuck out the most because look at we're flying end to end, east to west, corner to corner, closing out, flying, scrambling. We're scrambling everywhere. I haven't seen that since 22, honestly.
Dre, I think it once again almost goes back to Draymond because here's the thing, right? The reason we're not giving up that many straight line drives is that teams are having to take a longer time to find the mismatches they want, right? And that's because we're matching up in transition. We're passing, right? If there's a switch, we're like we have defenders back, right? Like GP2 Wiggins, these guys are pretty much like operating at pretty much almost their full capacity. So a lot of times these guys are eliminating that and just fighting over the screen and eliminating that switch, right? Then you'll see a rescreen, right? Okay, then maybe they get the switch this time. But now there's only 8 seconds left on the shot clock as opposed to 13 or 15, right? I think that and like I'm seeing Wiggins and Kuminga constantly communicate, constantly switch matchups, right? How many times today do we see Wiggins on Laurie and then Jordan Clarkson starts going off, or Colin Sexton basically gave JK a crossover and took him to the cup. They switched, right? Like I'm not seeing those things messing up anymore. There's no, like earlier what we were seeing is, and you could say sure that's effort being locked in, but it's also just like a level of like know-how and just somebody being there to hold you accountable, right? Because how many times earlier did we see, right? Like I always say this, transition matchups. People aren't getting back. People are complaining. Somebody's pointing, hey, get my guy. And whoever is supposed to be there is not actually picking up because he's so locked in on his guy, right? Like I'm not seeing that very much. And part of it is that we do have more positional size. We do have bigger lineups, so these mismatches are happening less often, even if they are even if they do manage to get a switch.
So they solved a big problem that they had all season long, which is going too small on top of like Sarge at the 5 and this kind of stuff. Sarge at the 5 is still not resolved, unfortunately. He's still on the roster, but at the end of the day, I just want to give some big shout outs to certain players who defensively, when people said that the Warriors don't have defensive players, it blows my mind because, I mean, obviously starting with Draymond and, Draymond, it seems like he has his voice now with this team that he maybe lost after last season because of the punch and whatever. And just, it's been very problematic, his personality and all this kind of stuff. And he just feels like a different person at this point. So big shout out to Draymond, man. And then Wiggins at the 3, POA, just one of the best POAs in the league, man. It's just such a huge impact for this team. And that's, just never play him at the 4 again. Almost never, please don't do that. Never play Wiggins at the 4 again because that's not where he thrives. He thrives at the 3. He shuts down the other team's defense. The other team's best, perimeter guys. But as soon as you stick like a bigger guy on him, like that's a problem for Wiggins. Problematic matchup for Wiggins. We don't want him at the 4. Maximize him at the 3. Keep their defense powerful. And GP2 coming back. I mean, he hasn't missed a shot yet since coming. He's 9 for 9 from the field, and you see the impact that he causes on the floor. He's been amazing. And Trace, fucking A, man. And every time this kid is asked to play, like he comes into the game cold in the 3rd quarter, the 4th quarter when the pressure is the highest, and he just shows up. And he needs more playing time. He's an impact on both ends of the floor, and you saw that tonight, how he changed the game both in the 3rd quarter and the 4th quarter. He's such a positive force, and you put him next to Draymond, like, bro, we haven't seen the best of the Warriors defense yet. So there you go. Sun guy, go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Jim, what position does Laurie play? He plays the 4, right? Who was Wiggins guarding?
No, he was small
No. He
forward.
plays the 3. He plays the 3. He plays the 3.
He plays the 3? Okay. Well, either way, like my point is, I don't think it matters who Wiggins guards, 3 or 4. He just has to guard the best guy, and he's been ridiculously good at that. And I think like the other part, right? We talk about being able to playing these bigger lineups. Once again, the credit goes to Andrew Wiggins because he is the reason this big lineup works. The only reason it wasn't working earlier is because he wasn't able to space the floor as well as he is now. And like
Agreed.
Shadow's already chronicled the reason as to why, right? Like of why it took him time to ramp up. But now that he's playing at the level that we've all held him to, right? It's unlocked this being able to play this bigger lineup, right? Because it's always about balancing offense versus defense. You would talk about right earlier in the year, Steph's playing in a phone booth, right? No matter who we put out there, Steph was playing in a phone booth. Andrew Wiggins making his shots is a big part of it. But here's the
I agree. Yep,
and
that's a good
here's
point.
Shit.
Also, I will say, Sun God, that's a great point. Also, Looney getting benched, bro. That's
That's
been
true.
That's
very
really
helpful.
the key. And when you were saying
But
Yeah.
even
earlier
outside of that,
about
though, right? Like,
the energy, and you was talking about the hustle, like Dre, imagine tonight if Looney and Sarge would have split all of Draymond's minutes and Chris Paul would have played instead of GP2. It's really the players on the
Dude,
court.
Jim would be having a
You
and
heart
got
That
attack
would have been
right now.
terrible.
so
Hey,
and
wait, y'all, did y'all see what Draymond just said in his press conference?
Wait. Before we get there, Sun God, sorry. Go ahead. You
yeah,
wanted to finish up?
and the so like here's the thing, right? Wiggins has like Shadow has and people will hate on Shadow, but Shadow has literally called it. Shadow, like, we are seeing Wiggins bring the ball up, right? And he is initiating the play. We are having Wiggins run pick and roll ball handler. We're setting the inverted screens for him, right? And even more so, out of that stuff, I'm seeing Wiggins playmake from those positions. I'm seeing Wiggins playmake out of the post. I'm seeing Wiggins pull up on a mid-range jumper when he has a big guy on him, right? Like, it's like Wiggins has really unlocked not only our defense but also our offense, right? And then in combination with Draymond coming back, it's really like connected as far as like having a vocal leader out there to man the defense,
You know,
and it just
yeah.
provided
You may
fantastic
you
balance.
no.
And another thing,
you
by
may
the
you
way,
know what?
Draymond,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
he's been making layups. He's been great on offense.
Oh, his
He's
play
part of the
finishing
reason
has
why we
been
have floor balance.
incredible. Yeah, absolutely, Sun God. That's a great point. Draymond's play finishing, when those advantages are created by Steph, his finishing as a play, like just open threes or open layups, he's been incredible, phenomenal. And then to the Wiggins point, the thing with Wiggins is this: a lot of the issues stem from the fact that there were times the last 2-3 seasons where he wasn't in rhythm because they wouldn't get him the ball in the post against mismatches. They wouldn't give him touches. It was a lot of Steph and Clay and Dre kind of. So what they're doing now is, and I've noticed this too, as you pointed out, he's bringing the ball up. He's initiating. And even though he may not take the shot on that given possession, he's initiating and he's in rhythm because he's involved. And just by him being involved gets him in the flow of things, and then he can continue to make an impact elsewhere. So that is a sneaky little wrinkle that they've added so that they've, figured out a way to balance out touches, balance out possessions much better than they have in years
I
past.
think they're just taking pressure off of him, man. They've taken pressure off of him because why? Kuminga is a secondary scorer. That takes a ton of pressure away from Wiggins. Also, Potts is an amazing playmaker. He's that like secondary to third playmaker next to Draymond. That's what's unlocking these things for them and simplifying like these roles for Wiggins where he doesn't have to do too much of that. At times he can do that. But the guy who's really helped unlock their offense is really, a combination of Potts and Kuminga. Their presence on the floor has made the game much easier for a guy like Wiggins. And now he can really focus on what he does best, which is defense, and then contribute on offense. He doesn't have to do too much. He just needs to be efficient. They have to attack downhill more, and they do that because they get out in transition, because they get stops. And you see Wiggins and Kuminga getting easy buckets in transition, left and right, because they're attacking, they're jumping the gun, and they're getting easy buckets. Man, that's
But
a big part of
to
what they're doing.
speak to Jim's point about the pods and Kaminga and their offense, they're averaging way less passes a game since Draymond came back. And it's because they're just simplifying. They have Kaminga who can fucking actually attack the basket and try to score at some point, and Pods who can dribble. Versus earlier in the season, especially when Draymond was out, they're just passing the ball side to side, trying to run these weak ass split cuts and get dudes open for three. No pressure on the rim. Your center's not a threat. They were looking nasty, averaging like 300 and some passes a game, and now it's like 270 something.
By the way, Dre just said something about Clay. He said, bro, this is what I've been trying to say for like the longest time all season, bro. Draymond said, you see young guys taking these next steps, JK, BP. It's a lot of growth, and you got to be okay with that growth. I think Clay is growing into that. To see him settling in, it's big for this team. So again, and that's what I was saying, bro. Basketball is like anything else in life. It's a cycle. It's a cycle. You come in young, wet behind the ears. You're figuring out your footing. You're trying to help, establish yourself in the NBA, develop, figure out where your role is, what your minutes are, all that stuff. You come in, there's some flashes, there's some potential, there's some good moments, but you can never put it together. Then eventually the guys that are in front of you, they get older, they regress, they become slower and older, and all these things happen. And then little by little it converges. As you get better, as you peak, they get worse and they age. And that's what we're seeing right now. Is like
Dre.
JK
Well,
is someone who is peaking. He's improving. And that goes for Pods, that goes for Moody, that goes for all the young guys
uh,
across the board. And Draymond, Steph, and Clay, right now they're still playing really, really well. They're at a point in their careers where they're still in the back end of their prime. But as these years go by, right, they're just you don't get better as you get older
Dre,
necessarily. And so
where'd you see that quote?
Shayna
uh,
Rubin
Oh,
tweeted it.
also, I think also Jay, like when you were talking about Wiggins, I think it's all about aggression when it comes to him, because to me, I think that's when he's at his best. When he's driving to the paint, going to the hoop, like when he's aggressive, it's like, to me, he's unstoppable. Probably not more unstoppable than Kaminga, but like when he's aggressive, it's like, what can you do as a defender, personally?
He's a great athlete.
Well,
So yes, completely. Go ahead, Clay.
and again, I just want to point out, so that the cyclical nature of it all is incredibly interesting to really think about, right? Like there's this like curve where these young guys, then they want to be all stars, they want to have their shine, they want to, and then it's like they're fighting for contracts, they're fighting for accolades, all that stuff, and these older guys are trying to win, and it's this interesting dynamic. And like I said, it's a cycle, and then eventually those young guys hit their prime, they win all these accolades, they become an all-star, and then that prime lasts maybe 5, 6, 7 years, and then they kind of age and fade out. New young guys are drafted, new young guys come along, and then those guys get better, and then those guys age out, and then it's a cycle. That's the cycle of the NBA. Draymond mentioned David Lee, Jermaine O'Neal, Carl Landry. These are the guys that he came into the league as his vets, and eventually they aged out, they phased out, they retired, they got they regressed. I hate to put it that way, but they got worse over time, and he got better over time. He got better over time. And then Dre in 2015, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, these are the years that are his prime. This is where he's peaking. This is where he's dominating the league defensively. And eventually, maybe in a couple of years, there'll be some regression, and maybe Kaminga might take some
Let
of
me
those
ask
minutes.
this
Maybe he'll
question
take
real quick.
some of those.
Let me ask
Yeah.
this question. So for all of y'all, so out of all our best defenders on the team, who are you guys trusting with the toughest assignment?
Kaminga.
Right now,
Andrew
it
Wiggins.
depends who
Wiggins.
it is. It
Andrew
depends.
So
Wiggins.
It depends.
I was gonna say it depends if it's a guard, GP2. If it's anybody that's like 6'6", 6'7", or over, Wiggins.
And the rest of it is
If it's
Draymond.
like,
So there you go. That's
yeah,
your clear answer.
yeah, I would say also like with Wiggins and GP is a pick 'em in some ways, but I do think I agree with Sun God. Like if you want to guard like someone like Ja, Wiggs can do a great job, but I think GP is probably a little bit more
What
optimal
about
just because
Tatum?
he's lower center of gravity.
What about some,
Tatum is easily
Wiggins.
Wiggins, easily. Yeah. But if you say someone like a Damian Lillard, I think GP would be
yeah,
better
GP
suited for that.
for sure.
I mean, either or, man.
Because Dame
They're
is,
both great.
but either or,
They're
yeah,
both
it's,
great
it's not a
options.
bad choice
Yeah,
regardless.
if you're
It's not a
What
throwing
bad
about
those
choice.
two guys at him the
what
whole
about
game,
JK?
like they're
What about
fucked.
JK?
Let me ask this.
JK, I don't view JK as a legit POA. That's just me.
What about
Okay.
Moody?
Yeah, not yet,
What
not
about
yet.
Moody? Like Moody as a defender, like I
Moody's
think he's
marginal. Moody's marginal.
He's
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 solid.
underrated. I
I
think he's
think
He's
an
he's
slow
underrated
He's
footed.
defender.
solid, but
He's
I
definitely
not
feel
a
like
underrated.
POA.
He's solid.
sometimes like we putting him out, like he's not a good defender as like we're putting him out to be. Like he's solid, but he's not like GP2 level. You understand what I'm saying?
No, no, no,
Nah,
no,
nah,
no,
Nowhere
I
no, no,
agree.
close.
no,
He's
no.
too
I
It's
slow
not.
think
That's
footed.
not.
He
No, no,
I
no,
doesn't
think
no, no,
where
no,
you're
no,
shoot
no,
at.
no,
enough
no.
laterally.
Hit or
Hold on,
miss.
hold on, hold on.
Yeah, that's not a fair
Yeah, hold
comparison.
on,
Wait,
hold
wait, wait,
on.
wait, 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 wait.
Please, when you're comparing players like defensively, you can't compare him to a guy like GP2. He's literally one of the best. He's like a cheat code. defensively. You can't compare a player. If you compare Lester to GP, like he's not gonna be like you can't make that
So what
comparison.
I'm
It's not
Jim,
saying is
fair.
basically
you're
like, because I feel like when we talk about Moody, right, and his defensive skills, like he's solid. I'm not saying he's a bad defender, but I feel like sometimes what I see is like we're overrating his defense. Because when I see him on the court, it's like, yeah, he's playing solid defense, but
I
it's not
think
all
we're
that.
underrating him.
You feel
No,
me?
he's good.
Like,
He's good.
here's what
He's
I
pretty
here's
The
what
guy
I
good.
would say with
Nah,
the
his
guy
defense
shot 0 for
his
8
defense
tonight
is
and was a plus 13. What does that tell you? Because he was no
yeah,
impact on offense. So what did he do? Why was he a plus
yeah.
13?
So
Jim. This is how I
Caprice,
would
here's
put it. Is
okay.
that Moody isn't a GP2 type. He's not a POA get up in you just like slide his feet. He's a connective
Yes.
defender. He's gonna trap the box. He's gonna rotate. He's gonna switch. He's gonna peel
Grab
switch.
rebounds,
Yeah, he's
hustle
gonna
plays.
So Moody's role defensively is not like that of like a Wiggins or a GP. He can do some of that. Like if he gets called up, he can do a little bit. But he's more so like kind of what Kaminga does. Just like 8 seconds left on the shot clock, just stay in front of your man and contest. And that's what Moody can do a good job of, and he
So
does.
yeah, pretty much like the breakdown of Moody defensively, right? Is that like if you want him like guarding like POA, like guarding these shifty like Jordan Clarkson, right? Like those guys, he's gonna have a tough time, right? Because his lateral ability isn't necessarily the best. He does take small steps, which is actually a very big key as far as staying in front of like these shifty guys. But he's just not fast enough. But what he will do, right, is he will keep fighting after that, and then his contests are actually very good. So like that's where I say like he's very hit or miss, is that he won't necessarily like beat you to the spot or make you change directions. But he will do is he will find you at your spot. He knows your spot as far as like where you want to shoot, whether it's a layup or a mid-range shot or a step back three, right? He knows where you want to shoot from, and he does a very good job at contesting that. Now the issue is, right, that one, if you're guarding the really good guys, if they get to their spot, that's it, game over, right? The other issue is he's not necessarily strong enough to, you know, uh, if he does meet those guys at their spots, to basically hold ground, right? So he gets bumped off and it turns into an easy shot.
He's solid.
So
He's
that's
not
why he's
elite.
kind of hit
To
or miss.
He's
use to
solid.
use
He's not
Warriors
elite. That's
language
it.
to use Warriors language that everybody can understand. Moses Moody is not and never will be 2017 Klay Thompson on defense. He is more 2017 Sean Livingston on defense.
Okay, so I just
okay.
want to say before Oracle moves over, Dre brought up something important about what Draymond said, and this is in regards to both Draymond and Klay. And they both needed to look themselves in the mirror this season. They both needed to change in some way. And I feel like they're both in the process of really doing that in a way that we haven't really seen before. Draymond, again, I feel like he's almost a different person in the way he's going about, business, all basketball, just everything for the team. Nothing, no distractions, no nothing.
He's locked
Right?
the
He's
fuck
just an
in on
utter positive.
defense.
And Klay, you guys all saw the quote about him accepting the idea of taking a lesser role to remain with this team because he cares about staying with this team and what they've done more than like selfish reasons and stuff like this, contract, role, whatever. And that is not something that we've heard from Klay this season, because Klay's been wanting to, play for that contract. He's been wanting to earn that money and all this kind of stuff and getting frustrated, posting me against the world, on Instagram, this kind of stuff. But now it just seems like he's on different energy. And it was really important for these guys to look themselves in the mirror and just analyze what's going on, if they're doing the right things. And they haven't been for a chunk of the season, but now the both of them are. And now almost everybody's on the energy of like unselfishness, play for the team and play together and don't be on some separate agenda and these kinds of, because these things break the team, the chemistry and just the natural flow of how they operate. So I think this is really important, and seems like they're all kind of figuring it out as the season goes, and that's really great to see.
Can we talk about the Klay TJD connection? Klay Thompson can't a fucking attack or closeout, beat nobody off the dribble, ever get in the key, but all of a sudden you put TJD on the court. This motherfucker's running pick and roll, making pocket passes, getting open off curls, hitting one leg mid rangers. Every time the two dudes in the game together, Klay look better.
I
Hey,
love
Irk.
them together.
Oh,
Hey, Irk, I got a
absolutely,
question for you,
absolutely.
man.
Yes, sir.
What makes this 5-game winning streak different than the one at the beginning of the season?
They look more tenacious defensively. and the starting unit is a massive positive. Um, Now this is my hopes and my dreams that the bench unit becomes a positive again and the starters remain a massive positive. That's what I want to see. And if that's happening, we're just gonna kick teams in the teeth come playoff time.
Can you elaborate on that? What do you mean the bench like needs to be positive again? Because I feel like the bench has been pretty solid during this 5 game winning streak.
Nah, I'm
They're
talking
not killing
about
people
as
like they
No,
were
plus
when Chris Paul was
minus, yeah,
healthy.
Oh,
and
okay.
that's
When Chris Paul was healthy,
CP3.
they were killing
That's
people.
more Dario minutes, all of that stuff. Like,
I'm not gonna lie.
So
Like I'm a little scared when Chris Paul comes back. Like I don't know because the lineups is gonna change. Like I feel like he's gonna slow the pace down when he come back. Like I'm a little nervous.
The Chris Paul bench minutes are probably going to be fantastic. Any minute that he's on the court with Steph Curry is probably going to end up being a wasted opportunity because when Chris Paul and Steph Curry are on the court together, you have to sit two of GP2, Pods, Wiggins, and Kaminga. Two of those dudes got to sit to make that Curry CP shit go, and I think that's going to end up ugly. But the bench unit is probably going to be good.
Well, everybody's
Caprice.
sacrificing at this point, even Clay. So, Chris Paul, you're new to this team. You have to sacrifice. The team is winning and dominating without you. So you can't be coming back and being like, I need to close games. That has to stop. That's been one of the key reasons why they haven't been good
yeah,
enough to win games. And that if he can just control the bench units and stay a positive in that regard, I think it'll be fine. I think they can get away with it.
It's not necessarily closing games
that's
though,
And
but like Steph sits for about 14 minutes a game. So anything over 14, you're taking minutes from like GP2, Pods, Wiggins, Kaminga to get him on the court with Steph. So even if he's playing 23 minutes, that's 9 minutes. You had him on the court with Steph where you could have been probably doing something better. And they don't got
well,
to be
two
close.
two
And it could
things
be
though.
so
fucking up second,
Two
third, fourth
two
minute.
things to remember. Two things to remember. One, like, because Caprice, he's running a 128 offense. He's also he was pretty much the reason why the bench was as good as it was, why it was such a positive, even when the starters, weren't along for the ride. The second thing is, as much as we hate the Steph and CP minutes, that we've seen how much of a positive that is. For if you go look at the stats once again, it is actually a positive with those two together. They just have to figure out how to make because there's combinations that we all don't like sometimes. They have to figure out a way to augment it. The way that how Kenny made that adjustment and put in like Trace with Draymond, like that was an adjustment to make, to make it work. Even when it was like Sarge and Dario, you know what I'm saying? I mean Sarge and TJD is another example. It's like you have to find a way to augment it, to find like a better combination of players to get to that work, because there's a reason why like the minutes with CP and Steph are positive. It's because he's getting him amazing looks, just like Draymond is.
Yeah.
Yo,
That's
Urkel, you
true.
want to
You
hear
make
the
a good
craziest
point in
stat?
doing that. You make a good
Jim,
point
give
in
me a
saying
crazy
that.
stat, Jim. Jim, give me
This
a
is
crazy
this
stat.
is an
Yeah.
insane stat. So the Warriors went 39-4 in 15-16 with Luke Walton when he took over for Steve. When Mike Brown took over for Steve, they were 11-0 in the 17 playoffs. Mike Brown also went 2-1 in the 22 playoffs when Steve also missed time there due to COVID. And tonight, Kenny won the game. So their overall record without Steve Kerr in the equation over the years is 53-5.
What does
Sun
that
God, speak up.
mean,
Sun,
Jim?
sun God, speak up.
Oh my God.
I wanted to speak on this too.
what was that?
Let
What
me
was
let
that?
me let me
Sorry.
drop this. In the first half, it looked like Kenny stuck to Steve's rotation, and in the second half, it looked like he did what the fuck he felt like doing. We seen Sarge at the 4 in the second half. We seen Draymond at the 5 with the second unit in the second half, which allowed TJD to be at the 5 with Steph Curry and run some pick and roll with Steph in the second half. And we seen TJD next to Draymond in the second half. Um, I think that second half unit would play a lot better against the Clippers, but Steve will probably be back, and that's going to be interesting to see.
Listen, Jim. I understand
I was told
the
there was no difference.
I
I was told
understand,
that Steve was gonna this
but I
morning.
understand the record. But let's stop and
Dog.
let's not act like they better than
DM
Steve
me.
Kerr at
DM me,
coaching.
Tech.
Please, let's not do that.
All
Please, let's
right,
not
hold
do that.
on.
Thank you.
Let's transition over to playback.tv/Space Gang and continue hour 2 over on Space Gang. So link I'll tweet out the link as well. So I'll see y'all over there. Playback.tv/Space Gang. Hour 2. See y'all.